big silky bitch. Thinking real delicious, getting filthy rich. Never been a joker, hate a punk or simp. Get your blunts up high while I talk my shit.
Hey everybody, I'm Psalm, aka Kizzy. I'm one half of Big Silky, and thank you for watching our show. If you like what you see, all you gotta do is like and subscribe. Thank you. Hit it below. Peace.
Breaking news, y'all. Weak friends are worse than strong enemies. Rewind that shit back if you want to hear it again. Word to Dapper Dan.
Hi.
Hey.
I feel better.
I see.
Thanks for your well wishes. I got absolutely zero well wishes, but that's
Bitch,
okay.
I wished you well.
Thank you.
Talking about zero, you got one. Thank you.
Now I just need to calm down. You know, you said that this shirt was not like the best shirt. This is one of my favorite shirts. One of my first streetwear purchases that cost way too much. So I'm wearing this motherfucker till the wheels fall off.
I feel you.
Anyway.
Go crazy.
What's our Big Silky tip of the week? Our Big Silky tip of the week is, check it out. These black-owned businesses, they're going in these SEOs and just saying BLM, Black Lives Matter. As we enter the end of Black History Month.
Look. First of all, Black history is U.S. history, so I don't know what the fuck niggas be talking about. Period. Also, you're right. I was Google searching the other day, looking for, a black-owned gift shop in Chicago because I wanted to get my parents something sweet for their 30th anniversary, which is, shout out my parents. But lo and behold, I could not find one because it was muddled with a bunch of white businesses, capital white.
If it's not black owned and it's black operated, okay, say that.
Yes.
But stop saying it's a black owned business if a black ass person doesn't own it.
And also stop using the SEOs to go in and say that you are black identifying, because you're not. I saw like 8 different companies. Like, just look. I'm going to click on them. I'm going to look at your company. So stop using the SEOs to say that you're black owned, because you're not.
And also on our end, if you're looking for a black owned business, just do a little bit more research. Just because Google says that it's a black-owned business doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you think a black-owned business is. So, do a little extra research. Maybe call up there, ask to speak to the owner, and if Bob answers the phone, then you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So,
yes.
On the one hand, for us, black-owned business, do your research. On the other hand, stop lying. If you're not black-owned business, stop lying.
Period.
Because, everybody want to be a nigga till the cops show up.
Ooh.
Let me stop. It's too triggering.
No, true. Everybody wants to be black. Everybody wants to be black.
Until it's time to be black.
until it's a police pulling your ass over. Until you're getting profiled in Costco or Publix. Like, yeah, everybody want to be black until there's a fucking problem. So, relax on that shit.
Thanks, guys. Do your Googles. Peace.
I never liked cops because I'd always be doing illegal shit, and I knew that cops could take you to jail, and I've been to jail, and I did not want to go back. But what I didn't understand at the time, I was 14, okay, is that when me and my friends would go smoke, my friends would give me the stuff on the way back. And I had a very diverse group of friends, okay? I was like the only white girl. And I didn't understand why they would do that. I was like, they're gonna search all of us, bitch. But then one day we got stopped by the cops and they didn't search all of us. They searched all my friends but not me. And I realized that their dislike of cops was not the same as mine because I feared going to jail. They feared losing their life. And I realized that my white skin was like a shield to protect me from cops. They didn't have this shield. And what makes me really fucking mad is that white people won't even accept that their skin is like a shield. They won't even acknowledge it. And what makes me the most fucking mad is that it's not my skin that's the shield, it's the fucking color. When it should be the skin. The skin means life. The color does not mean life. Fuck.
it, darling.
We love you so much. Wait, who are you wearing?
I'm wearing this. I'm wearing Buddha Blends.
Who?
Buddha Blends, nigga.
First juices, now hoodies. Buddha, you're going crazy. DM him today.
What if they were called cameras instead of cameras?
What if what? What if they were called what?
Camera rays.
Gamma rays?
Camera rays.
Like gamma rays. What
Like
you know
gamma
about that?
rays.
What you know about that science?
Are you gonna sing?
What we not gonna do? What we not gonna do? What we not? Boy, I feel so much better.
Oh, I see.
Wait, do it like
I
Bob Marley.
see.
What we not?
You could tell you was sick last week, boy.
Man.
You good this week.
Girl, I get him.
Come through swinging.
Baby.
Hey.
What we not gonna do this week?
Look, what we are not gonna do this week is make assumptions. Yeah. Something that came to me while I was meditating this week was assumptions ruin friendships. Either be direct, intentional, and nonviolent, or just let the relationship go. So what we're not gonna do is focus on the things we think we know and then act like goofies because we think we know something we don't have no clue about. So don't make assumptions. Ask questions. Be direct. Be smart. Be kind. Be compassionate with the people you know, because you never know what the fuck they're going through. And you assuming, what is it? Makes an ass out of you.
And me.
Makes an ass out of you and me. So, what we not gonna do is make an assumption.
I'm not gonna assume. Where'd you get your shirt from?
Oh, you know, boop, I got it from my best friend, Lex Thompson. And she's right. I am written and directed by God. So,
God. What we? You gonna sing it with me?
No, I'm not.
Damn. What we?
You don't have to sing it either.
No, I have
No,
to.
you can finish. You
I
could
promise
just not.
you, we get like.
They're not here for your
requests.
voice.
No, they are.
No.
Well,
I was a heathen in and out of church.
Nerdy, you back.
We back. Look at this. We out here.
Yes.
Right backgrounds.
Rocking my Yesha Campbell, Yellow Ranger, Black Girl in a Business.
Gang, gang.
All day. That's right. First Black woman to be a Power Ranger. Everybody needs to check it out.
You're a singer.
Yeah, I try. Yeah.
Like,
Try.
you know,
Understatement. You go crazy.
I'm a sapper. World class sapper, you know. I can hit the note, I just can't carry it far. You know?
Okay, I got you. We all
how have
know
you
that.
been since we last spoke?
Yeah, I've been feeling good. My last 2 albums, 38th and Chicago Avenue, has been well received.
Yeah.
Which was a real blessing for me because I thought that I was writing my eulogy as an artist for
38th, right?
Yeah, for 38th. As soon as 38th, because we were talking, even when I was talking, I was like, you know, this is gonna be different than anything else I've written. And speaking of which, burn it down. You killed it.
Damn, you want to do a video?
That's right. I'm telling you, man. I'm trying to get all these things are so big. I want like big stuff to happen.
Fire.
I want fire. I want things on fire. Like I want everybody on. It's like, but yes. I think I remember talking to my DJ and talking to a couple people that, you know, like I'm close to, and I was just like, yo, I don't know if people are gonna wanna. I was like, my fan base is pretty one-sided. You know, I mean, I tell people all the time, I was under no illusions that I wasn't, you know, picked to be that Black guy and represent he's one of the good ones. One of the things that I talked about even in the
of course.
I was under no illusion that that's not what was going on.
Yeah.
I tried to do my best to do things like every time I booked a show, it was like mostly black artists on it. Like people like would see the things I was doing, but it was just like, you know, when you made the kind of music that I was making, like it was easy for people to just like push you into corporate stuff. And when I made these albums, I said, all right, well, I might be kissing some of this stuff goodbye. Like I'm saying ACAB, I'm saying like we're showing up at cops' houses. Like I'm saying stuff.
Like you're just not cursing.
Yeah, I'm just not cursing, but I'm saying some pretty aggressive things.
Yeah.
Like people I was telling, like I was like PSA, I was real nervous to hit send on that one because I was saying some stuff.
Yeah.
But it was I was blessed to see how well received it was. It all was. I think a lot of people heard my heart, understood like the pain, at the very least could empathize with the pain, and that in Chicago Avenue, after everything was said and done, it's been a really beautiful time.
Man, I shed a thug tear on We Up.
Yep.
And Glory is a gospel song.
Yes.
Like I was just like, this is not rap.
Yep, it's a gospel
song. And this and I mean that I mean that as a compliment.
Yeah.
You know I'm saying?
That's how we made it.
Would you call yourself a gospel rapper?
I think I can be. I can be, like, if the mood calls for it. You know what I mean? I'm a swing dancer if the mood calls for it. You know what I mean? You put on a little jump, jive, and wail, and I might cut a rug or something. But yeah, it's like I feel like I can be a gospel rapper. I feel like the gospel of like that I'm trying to preach and trying to send, of like just being better and fighting injustice. Like that's something I'm always trying to talk about. It's just being better, whether it's being better to yourself or being better to others or in your community. So like, yeah, I would say that that's definitely something you can categorize me in. Glory specifically was just like I want to write something in like how I would feel on a Sunday. You know what I mean? After we're fighting, all these people are fighting, and for so many Black Americans, like church has been a part of their story, whether it's been negative or positive, whether it's been brief or long, you know what I mean? Like that aesthetic, it is connected to the Black people. You know, we're going to move forward and we're going to find glory in the situation.
Yeah, it's very darkness into the light.
Exactly right.
So it's very uplifting.
It's the feet are tired, but we're still marching forward sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's really what I wanted to capture in those two things. As I said, I was like, I could do just the one, and that's fine, and that's plenty. That's plenty. But I wanted to do the whole thing of what I was feeling, even in that moment, because y'all are seeing the same as anybody else who was out here. It was both darkness and light. Like, you know what I mean? People wanted to focus on like, oh, they're burning things and da da da. It's like, well, yeah, that's happening, but like, look over here. Look at all these people like putting food together for each other. You do realize that, right?
All
like the community is taking care of each other. It's not just wanton destruction.
Yeah.
Like it's our whole people being people together. So I wanted to make sure they had both of those.
Did you find that challenging conceptually, or was it just like, I'm gonna compartmentalize these two feelings?
It was a little bit difficult bouncing back and forth because I wrote it over the course of like being out on the streets, doing all sorts of things. I remember Kyle
at the same time.
Yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse happened around the time that I was finishing up on 38th, like the more angry one, and I was just like, oh, maybe I'm just like, oh, I'm starting to write like the more uplifting stuff, and then I was like, nah, I'm still angry. I'm gonna go like I see that, and I'm like, you know what? No. We're gonna go back and do this. We're gonna change this line. We're gonna do this because I'm still angry. So it was kind of like I would bounce back and forth. One day I'd feel really positive and I'd work on Chicago Avenue, and then the other day I'd feel like more frustrated and angry at the system, and I'd go back and write a little bit more on 38th. And they kind of happened in conjoint. Then once 38th was done, Chicago Avenue was harder to do.
Yeah,
because I was like, I'm still mad.
Mm-hmm.
We're still dealing with this stuff, but I'm trying to find the hope and the cheer throughout all this stuff as it's happening.
Yeah.
And so that was a little bit more challenging than the one that I was just like angry. I'm pissed. I'm angry at this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was a little bit more difficult doing Chicago Avenue than 38th.
I love that you were able to take because you were out there. And I saw a lot of people try to like make songs, make music, and it's just artists in general throughout the nation, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a different feeling when you're out there. You know, I learned that from making like Big Silky like too. was like knowing, like you said, like there was the duality of being angry as fuck at everything like being destroyed, and all these like Nazis running around fucking willy-nilly doing whatever they wanted, and then the other side was like you're going to food pantries and trying to get food to people's houses and start 100%. Like shelters, and you being out there on the ground like with the houseless community, like I know that like played a huge part in into what music sounds like now.
Yeah, yes, like, let me correct myself, because weed.
I was gonna ask that too.
38 is the first one that came.
Yeah.
That is the harder one. That's the one we collaborated on. Chicago Avenue is the one that came out a little while ago, and that is the one that is more. It's more like, it's still angry, but like you said, it's way more uplifting. You're singing. There are these big chords, big melodies, and you're flexing. You're singing.
Yeah, it definitely, we wanted to make it even just like sounding like two different projects, because it really was like they're connected in the fact that we're singing about the same thing, and this is all around this feeling that we're having right now. But yeah, like Chicago Avenue is much more, I would say, easier listening than 38. I'd say it's easier listening for like the people in my fan base, or the people coming up to me that are like, ooh, like, are these Negroes? There's these Negroes.
Do you hate us now?
These Negroes are really mad.
What's going on? And I'll be like, oh, okay, well, here, we'll start you off here. We'll get your feet wet. We'll get you wade in the water a little bit, and then we're gonna get you into the stuff, because like we're not joking over here. Like this is very serious. And so, I have a lot more of like that group of people being like, I really love Chicago Avenue. And I'm like, I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. It's like a whoo. It's like
he's still with us. He's still with us. Oh,
it's a breath of fresh air.
Oh, man.
Funny.
You know what? I tweeted you about this. But man, I don't know if it's still up, because I haven't left the house, but your billboard.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
It was. It's super awesome. It was a lot of fun. Like I felt so like proud and like vindicated, and like people were texting me about it, like, oh my gosh, It just recently got replaced by somebody else, so it's like it's now just a memory. But when it was up, I felt as if I was moving in a direction that was like, hey, this city, I can be a part of its musical leadership in some sort of way. And it's still weird for me to feel that way. Like when people are like, hey, Nerdy, what do you think about XYZ? And I'm always just like, I'm just some kid from like who's happy to play at 7th Street. You know what I mean? Like I'm just some kid who's like still thinking about busking on the side of the corner by Nicollet. Like that's who I am in my head. And so to see that, I felt like, oh wow, maybe I do have some things to share and some wisdom to people which should listen to or would want to listen to.
Yes.
Well, whatever you've like possibly fallen into because you're like a safe, the safe sort of choice.
Yeah.
That's not what this is. You are very deserving. You're ultra talented, and you have a morality about you that is often not seen in rap. So you are a breath of fresh air, and you're not corny.
So wild to me. Which is so wild to me because, I mean, I understand the concept of toxic masculinity and how it has affected specifically the Black community, and because the Black community and hip hop it's what sprang out of it, that is going to be a part of the history of the thing. And I understand that from a conceptual level, but hip hop is supposed to be the voice of the unheard. It's supposed to be the oppressed, the struggle. And it's just like, you do know that female identifying peoples, especially Black female identifying peoples, but just like in general, like if anybody encompasses that thing, it's them. Why are we using this platform that was designed to uplift the people who have been put down by the system to actively hurt these other people? That doesn't make any sense. Even if you just want to be respectful to the art form. I see a lot of rappers talk about respect. You got to respect the craft, man. You got to respect the craft. It's like, well, the craft is supposed to be uplifting people from their situation. And if you're using that tool to hurt other people, then you're not respecting the craft. I don't care if you think I'm corny. I'm doing the thing that hip hop is supposed to do.
Right.
So it's like,
there's a lot of evil in the atmosphere. You feel me?
Yeah.
I caught that bar. I was like,
it's like I feel like people just need to take, and it's I'm in a weird, like I said, I'm in a weird position. I'm a male identifying artist. I've gotten a lot of success very quickly. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't been around for a lot of this stuff that is coming out now. Like, I remember walking around asking people, being like, how could this have gone on under your watch?
Right.
And like getting this weird pushback from people. And I was just like, how could this have, no. How could this have gone on under your watch? That doesn't make any sense. Like, I feel responsible and I wasn't even here. Do you understand? So it's like, I know you couldn't have just been like, this, look how many, like, I'm like, look at the list. I had to have a whole conversation with some people.
Complicit.
Yes.
An era of it's complicity, right? That's the word. That's a word.
Yeah, my homie said everyone was complicit before Corona.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone feels like they have to do this thing or these things to get opportunities. You don't.
It's
you can
so gross.
Yeah, you can stand up for yourself and other people and still be just as in line with your morals and whatever blessings are for you. And you don't need anybody's blessings.
Yeah, I don't need that. I say, if I have to sit back and watch somebody else get treated in a way that they should not be treated in order to get ahead, then it was never about my talent. It was always about my silence. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
like,
and I think
as an artist, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think we have to be, as people, because this happens across all industries, right? We have to be comfortable saying no, doing without some of these things. Because I'm looking at some people, I'm not going to name any names, and I'm not going to get too spicy because that's not what this is for. But I see people who have been silent and complicit. They're getting older and older. Where's your record deal? Where's the look? You just want proximity to these things, proximity to these folks. And it's like, you're not... Like, where's your like big break coming? Like, where is this? Because if it ain't the music, what, like you said, what is it? You know,
what is it? Yeah, I never need to be backstage so badly that I would hurt somebody else.
Yeah.
Boom.
Like, I don't need it. I'd rather play my video games at my house. Like, I don't need it.
Exactly.
I'm not a satellite though. But then again, now that's not my personality. I'm not a satellite. I don't need to orbit someone else. Like, I have my own stuff. I have my own stuff that I'm gonna do. So it's just like, real talk. I see some of these people. I've turned down shows from people who've offered them to me, and I've been like, no. Like, been like, no. Like, I was like, we need, like, first of all, I'm not gonna do anything with you until we sit down and have a conversation about XYZ.
Sure.
Because, like, that seems wild, and we need to have a conversation about
but
it.
like, I'm not gonna put my good rep on, you know what I mean?
On anybody now.
Yeah,
that's just it's strange, and I understand a lot of these younger artists, and like, they think this is the way it goes.
Yeah, and it is the way it goes.
It has been. It's very much has been. And so now this concept of like, oh, cancel culture and all this stuff, and I'm just like, no. Accountability. Like, responsibility.
Called accountability.
Yeah,
it's like, this isn't new. This isn't a new thing. I watched this person on I watched this person online, and they were talking, and they were just like, well, cancel culture started when Wesley Snipes, when he was playing Nino, he said he was going to cancel this girl, and it's rooted in toxic masculinity. And I was just like, okay, here's, like, don't try to defend them. Don't try to make it easier for them to not take responsibility for that.
Right.
Don't try to turn it into something that it's not.
It's not like culture, it's consequences.
It's consequences. It's consequences for how you speak and how you act towards people that are around you or affected by you or you have power over. It is there is no excuse. There is no excuse. And there's no excuse for someone who is an artist who makes their money off of doing something that you like, and I would like to say an exorbitant amount in some people's cases of money, doing stuff that you like, and people paying you to do the things that you like. You should be the utmost respectful to the people around you.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah,
they're
it's such
living
a
the
blessing
dream.
to be able to do this.
Exactly right. It is a huge blessing. I wake up every day and I think to myself, like, I'm an artist full time.
Yeah.
Like, the people that like my music care enough about my art to support me financially during a time, especially now, during a time where they could be spending their money on anything else.
Anything.
And I was just like, no, there is no way you're gonna catch me acting the fool at all. And then, so to give you an example, even I was just like, the responsibility for us to make sure that we're setting a good example for the next generation. I use this example a lot of times, but I try to give people example of, like, in the ocean, when a whale dies, a whole ecosystem sprouts over that because it's a lot. And you'll see sharks and fish swimming together.
Come back around.
Because the sharks are eating the whale, so they're not looking at the fish. And I tell people, it's like, just because that shark wasn't eating at you right now doesn't mean it wouldn't. It just means that it had prey that it could eat more easily.
Yeah.
Like, it more easily. So that's why you were all swimming together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why some of these people are like, oh, this person's not a this person's not a that, because they did it. I was like, you do realize they were already eating. Like, they were already filling themselves.
Yeah.
Like, you just weren't the
one
target. It's an ecosystem of this concept of, like, we've decided to, like, let this happen, and then all the sharks should just, like, feed around, but now there's nothing left, and we're like, hey, no, we're not letting this happen anymore. These sharks gotta go, because they're gonna start doing it again unless we do something.
The rebrand.
Period.
Rebrand.
It won't be a whale, it'll be a wahale.
I'll try to do my best to be like, yo, how can I be a part of, like, now that they got a billboard put up, and people are talking like, hey, NUR-D means something, right? So it's like, how can I be a part of this positively? Mm-hmm. What can I do to make sure, like, yo, we're not doing the same thing that we did before? When these things open back up,
let's hit them.
We're gonna make sure we're ethically responsible for our actions, for our music, for our art, like
safety on our backstages.
Exactly right. Oh my goodness.
Opportunities come because they're well earned and deserved.
Yes, that's right. I don't want my success to come from my silence.
That was a great conversation. We will always continue to support you, and I really want to give you flowers right now.
Thank you.
You are an amazing artist, and as someone who has a big potty mouth, I'm always inspired by people who are able to get these concepts and these messages across without fucking and shitting it up.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll talk to you very soon.
Yes.
Love you. And is there anything you want to tell our audience before you go?
Check out all my stuff. NUR-D rocks on everything. Follow along. Justice Frontline Aid if you want to help out the community in a cool way, protecting people who are out here on the streets fighting for justice. We have a big old benefit concert coming up on the 13th. I don't know when this is out, but like March 13th, check us out. If not, just be good to each other. Be good to each other. Be good to yourself.
Much love. Much love. All the love.
To you all.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.